So there's a company right now that turned your toilet into a medical lab. You sit down, you do your thing, and a little device in the bowl analyzes your pee and sends the results directly to your phone. Now, that's a real business, and that's a real product, and it's already on sale. And that's just the first one. I spent weeks researching the most innovative businesses that are going to blow up in the next 5 years. We're talking about robots that kill weeds with lasers, a shipping container that prints fuel out of thin air, and leather that's grown from mushrooms. And these are real companies making real money right now. Now, I'm not just gonna show you the companies, but I'm also gonna show you how normal people like you and me can actually profit from every single one of these trends. You see, I've got over 1.5 million subscribers on this channel. I've made over $10 million from YouTube. And after seeing what these companies are doing, I honestly think the next 5 years are going to create more new millionaires than the last 20. So while everybody else is doom and gloom, freaking out about AI, I am extremely excited about the opportunities that will present themselves in the future. And if you are as well, you'll be in a great position to take advantage of that. So if you like this type of content, let me know by gently tapping that like button and I'll make more of it in the future. And let's jump into it right now. All right, so let's start with the one that I teased here. So there's a company called Withings, and they've been making smart health devices for years. Smart watches, body fat scales, that kind of stuff, right? And their newest product is on a completely different level. It is called the U-Scan. And it's a little device about the size of a hockey puck that just sits inside of your toilet bowl. So you use the bathroom like normal. The device has a thermal sensor that detects when you're going, and then it runs it through a miniaturized lab right there in the bowl, and within minutes, it sends the results to your phone. So it tracks things like hydration levels, vitamin C, ketone levels, and kidney health markers like calcium that could lead to kidney stones. And the wild part is they spent 7 years developing this thing. Now it uses AI, advanced chemistry, and optics all packed into something that fits in your toilet and you barely even notice it. Now the device costs around $380, plus you need replacement cartridges every 3 months for about $100. So it's basically a subscription health lab in your bathroom. And they're already selling these in the US and Europe right now. So this is not a Kickstarter, this is not a concept, you can buy one today. Now the thing that most people miss is Withings isn't just selling a product, they are selling a subscription. Every 3 months you need a new cartridge, and that is recurring revenue that's built into the hardware. The device is the razor, the cartridges are the razor blades. That is a tried and true business model that has led to many billion-dollar companies. Now that's great and all, but how do you actually profit from this? Well, the entire at-home health monitoring space is exploding right now. Here's the opportunity. You could start a content channel reviewing and comparing these products. There's the Withings U-Scan, there's the Vivu, which makes a competing device, there's continuous glucose monitors from Abbott Labs. This whole category barely has any creators covering it. So you could become the go-to expert on at-home health tech. Then you could build a YouTube channel around it, build an affiliate business, and partner with these brands. All right, quick break. This week, I'm doing a one-time only workshop where I talk about how to finally make money from YouTube.com in 2026. And you can check it out down in the description and the pinned comment below. At this workshop, I'm gonna be giving away the Niche Validator Pro completely free. This is a GPT powered by a piece of software that I've been working on for a long time now, and it's been trained on thousands of hours of my teaching, coaching sessions, and more, so you don't have to spend years to pick a profitable niche. You can do it in a matter of minutes. Heck, it's even possible to do it in seconds sometimes. And I'm gonna be giving this away at the workshop. So make sure you click the link in the description and then show up to the workshop. And the best way to do that is to make sure you add it to your calendar once you've signed up for it. So you basically just click add this to your calendar once you're on the thank you page after you've registered. And it'll show up as either Google, Apple, or Outlook calendar, whatever calendar you have. So you can make sure you won't miss the chance to grab the Niche Validator Pro completely free. And you'll also be able to ask me questions live. So I look forward to meeting you. Can't wait to see you there. I'm gonna be showing you this new opportunity. It's completely free, and it's amazing whether you basically want to use it to get a better job, use it to network, use it to make some passive income, start a side hustle, make a full-time income, or even start a full-on business. It works incredibly well with all of those, and it's completely free. So make sure you click the link in the description and then show up to the workshop. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. Okay, so this next business literally sounds fake. I had to read it like 3 different times. So there's a company called Airco, and they built a mobile fuel system inside of a shipping container. It takes CO2 from the air, combines it with hydrogen, and produces drop-in synthetic fuel, like actual fuel that you can put in a car. And they call it decentralized fuel production. And you can basically put this container anywhere, a military base, a disaster zone, a farm in the middle of nowhere, and it just starts making fuel. No oil well, no refinery, no tanker truck, no endless wars to maintain geopolitical power, just a box that turns air into fuel. Now, this is still in the early stages, right? It's not at your gas station yet, but the technology works and it's mobile. And that's a massive deal. Think about what happens when this scales. Every military base could have one. Every remote construction site. Every island nation that currently ships fuel thousands of miles by boat. So how do you profit from this? Well, the direct opportunity is in distribution and services. As these systems roll out, someone needs to maintain them. Someone needs to transport them, set them up, manage operations on site, et cetera, et cetera. So think about the early days of solar panel installation. The people who got into solar installation 10 or 15 years ago built massive businesses. We're talking billion-dollar, $100 million businesses. And they didn't invent the panels, they literally just installed them. When containerized fuel production scales, there will be a huge demand for technicians, logistic providers, and regional operators. And of course, on the content side, the sustainable energy and clean energy space is wide open for creators. Very few channels are covering emerging energy tech in a way that's accessible to normal people, even though it's something that has massive implications on the rest of the world. Most of the content out there is either hyper-technical or it's just surface level news. So there's a gap for someone who can explain this stuff in plain English, build an audience, and position themselves as the trusted voice in the space. And honestly, there's so many opportunities once you have the YouTube channel for how you could monetize it. I mean, you could go in a million different directions with that. Affiliate marketing, sponsorships, you can make money from AdSense. You could launch your own energy business from the YouTube channel. Okay, next business. After all this crazy futuristic stuff, this next one might actually be the most mind-blowing of all because it doesn't require a lab, it doesn't require millions in funding, and you don't need a science degree. See, we work with a woman named Carla, and she runs a recruiting company called Proximity Outsourcing. And she helps online business owners hire top-tier talent from the Philippines and Latin America. And she started a YouTube channel, and she made simple videos, just her talking to a camera about hiring, outsourcing, and building teams. Nothing fancy. And her channel right now has about 1,400 subscribers, and her videos get maybe 100 to 200 views each. And most people would look at that and think, it's not working. Why is she even wasting her time? But here's what happened. A CEO found her videos, watched a bunch of them, and reached out to her. And then he signed a contract for $106,000 a year. And he even paid extra because he wanted one-on-one time with her. So let me say that again. 1,400 subscribers, 100 views per video, and she just landed a six-figure annual contract from a YouTube viewer. How is that possible? Because she's not making content for everyone. She's making content for CEOs who need to build teams. People with real budgets, people with real problems, people who have money and are looking for someone they trust. She doesn't need a million views. She needs one CEO to watch 5 of her videos and think, this is the person that I want to work with. That is the power of YouTube when you pick the right niche and sell to the right audience. And this isn't a one-off thing. I've seen this pattern over and over again, right? I've got 1.5 million subscribers on this channel and I've generated millions and millions of dollars from YouTube. So I know this space better than almost anyone. And there's literally millions of little mini niches out there that aren't being served right now on YouTube. And they're all just screaming, waiting for somebody to come in and make content and help other people. And a lot of the time it's very simple content as well. For instance, we had a guy in the tinnitus niche land a $1,500 a month sponsorship with only 446 subscribers. And we've had clients that have gotten 20 view videos and landed $2,400 contracts. We've seen people make $20,000 a month with less than 10,000 subscribers. And YouTube is still the most underpriced attention platform on the planet. And it's the only platform where a video that you made 3 years ago can still bring you customers today. Every other platform, your content dies within 24 to 48 hours. So how do you profit from this? Well, you start a channel, that's it. But here's the key that most people miss. You don't need views, you need the right views. If you sell to broke people, you need millions of views to make money. If you sell to affluent people like business owners, executives, professionals, or if you solve very painful problems, you need 200 views from the right 200 people and you can make a full-time income. So Carla's not chasing subscribers, she's not chasing views, she's creating content that attracts people who have $100,000 budgets. And that changes the entire math. So pick a niche where the audience has money and a real problem. Create content that helps them and position yourself as the expert. And let YouTube do the selling for you. You do not need fancy equipment. You don't need to show your face if you don't want to, and you don't need a million subscribers. Carla proved that with just 1,400 subscribers, and I have dozens of other clients that have done the exact same thing. And by the way, I want you to notice something real quick. We just talked about incredible businesses. All require millions of dollars to start. But the one that just produced a $106,000 contract came from a woman with 1,400 subscribers and a camera. No lab, no robot, no venture capital, just the right niche and the right audience. Finding the right niche and then making the right types of videos are everything, right? If you pick the wrong niche and you make the wrong videos, you will waste years of time. And maybe you even do get lots of subscribers, but you're gonna end up with a channel that doesn't make any money. So this is what I'm gonna be teaching this week in my free live training, which is how to find a profitable niche. It's completely free, and we're gonna walk you through how to pick the right video ideas and how to turn a tiny channel into a real business. Plus, I will answer literally any question that you have at the end. So go ahead, click the link in the description, the pinned comment below to check that out. Oh yeah, and everyone who shows up gets my free AI niche validator tool. This is a tool that we spent massive amounts of time working on. So it's this week, it's free, links are in the description, the pinned comment below. Check it out. All right, so next one, I think this might be my personal favorite because it looks like something out of a video game or a movie. Carbon Robotics, this is the company. They built a machine called the laser weeder, and it rolls through a field, uses computer vision to identify every single plant, and figures out which ones are weeds, and vaporizes the weeds with high-powered lasers. So it doesn't touch the crops, it doesn't use chemicals, it doesn't spray anything, it just lasers the weeds into oblivion. And farmers are buying these because the math makes sense. No more spending on herbicides, no more manual weeding crews, no more crop damage from chemicals hitting the wrong plants. And honestly, do we want those chemicals to be in our food supply? Probably not. This machine can eliminate over 200,000 weeds per hour, and it works day and night because it doesn't get tired and it doesn't need a lunch break. So how do you profit from this? Well, this is a perfect example of a business where you don't build the technology, you service it. Someone needs to sell these machines to farmers. Someone needs to lease them out, and someone needs to maintain and repair them. And of course, someone needs to operate them on contract for smaller farms that can't afford to buy one outright. So if you have any connection whatsoever to agriculture, this is a gold mine. You could become the regional go-to for laser weeding services. You could show up with the machine, do the job, and charge per acre. Or on the content side, farm tech is a booming category on YouTube. People are fascinated by this stuff, and the videos practically make themselves because the visuals are so insane. You just show a robot shooting lasers at weeds and people can't stop watching. Okay, this next one is absolutely insane. So imagine this. You open an app on your phone, you tap a button, and a few minutes later, a little store on wheels pulls up to your curb. Not a delivery driver, not a courier on a bike, an actual miniature store. You walk up to it, you unlock it with your phone, you browse the shelves, and you grab what you want. Then you close the door, and it charges you automatically. That is Robomart, and they built a store hailing platform for retailers. Think of it like Uber, but instead of a car picking you up, a store drives to you.
This is the world's first self-driving store. We license these to retailers who can deploy these as their own stores, and consumers can simply hail it just like an Uber.
So this is retail completely flipped inside out. Instead of you going to the store comes to you. And there's no delivery fees, no waiting for a driver, no substitutions because the store ran out of your brand. And here's what makes this different from Instacart, right? With Instacart, someone shops for you and they might grab the wrong thing. With Robomart, you physically browse and pick your own stuff. So it's kind of like the convenience store of delivery with the control of in-store shopping. Plus, let's be honest, a lot of people actually enjoy shopping. They just don't enjoy having to go to the store. So how do you profit from this? Well, mobile retail is going to be massive, but you don't need a Robomart to get started. Think smaller. Converted vans and trailers that bring products directly to neighborhoods, mobile flower shops, mobile pet store supplies, mobile snack bars at parks and events. The idea is simple. Instead of paying rent on a storefront that hopefully people will walk into, you go where people already are and bring stuff that they probably already want. So just as an example, I was recently in Chichen Itza and I was looking at the Mayan pyramids. Now, by the way, if you didn't know, Chichen Itza is kind of in this valley and it's just totally open to the sun and it's incredibly hot. And the whole time I was thinking, I wish somebody here was selling one of these. This is like something where you can cool yourself down, but it's not like a normal one of the fans because it's very, very strong. And then it even has the ability for you to, I don't know if you guys can see how strong that is, but it's like super, super strong. It's like blasting my hair, right? It even has the ability for you to put cooling packs inside of it. So it's basically like a portable air conditioner. But you do have to keep the cooling packs cool. And the whole time I was just thinking to myself, if somebody sold these at the pyramids in Chichen Itza, they're gonna get rich. And not a single person was selling them there. Now the vendors at Chichen Itza were selling lots of different cool, tourist trap type stuff. And they were actually trying to buy this from me, which I thought was hilarious, right? So the sales guys were actually trying to buy this from me, okay? So that's just one example of even something as obvious as that. Selling people fans at a place that's insanely hot, people aren't doing. Even though there's tons of vendors there, none of them were selling it. So yeah, great opportunity, and there's gonna be a lot of opportunities that pop up around this business model as well. All right, so this next one is gonna make a lot of people uncomfortable, and that's exactly why it's on this list. There is a company called Agility Robotics, and they build humanoid robots called Digit. And these are bipedal robots. They walk on two legs, and they have arms. And they pick things up, they move boxes around, and they work in warehouses alongside human employees. Now, they're not the only robot company. For instance, Tesla has their version of robots as well. But this company actually just expanded their partnership with Amazon, which is the biggest logistics company on the planet and is actively testing humanoid robots in their warehouses right now. Now, I'm not showing you this to scare anybody. I'm showing you this because where there's disruption, there's opportunity. Every major technology shift eliminates some jobs and it creates entirely new ones. When ATMs came out, people thought bank tellers would disappear. Instead, banks opened more branches because operations got cheaper, and they actually ended up hiring more people. And the same pattern is going to happen with robotics. So, how do you profit from this? Well, someone needs to program these robots, someone needs to maintain them, and someone needs to manage the integration between human workers and robot workers in the same warehouse. And this is just talking about the robots inside the warehouse, not about all the use cases outside of them as well. But robotics technician is projected to be one of the fastest growing jobs over the next decade, and right now there's a massive shortage of qualified people. You don't need a 4-year engineering degree for this, and there are certification programs and technical courses that can get you qualified in months. And companies are desperate to hire because the demand is growing way faster than the talent pool. Now, on the content side, robotics and AI are the most searched tech topics on YouTube right now. So think about channels that cover Tesla or SpaceX. They get millions of views just talking about what's coming next. But a channel that's dedicated to humanoid robots, warehouse automation, and the future of work could grow extremely fast because the interest is massive and there aren't that many good channels covering it yet. So yeah, this is absolutely coming down the line. It is going to disrupt many industries. It is going to eliminate a lot of jobs, but more jobs will pop up. And by the way, if you're one of those people that thinks that AI is going to eliminate all the jobs, meaning there's just not going to be any jobs anymore, let me ask you a question. Do you think that AI is going to solve every problem in the world? If the answer to that is no, then it's not going to eliminate all the jobs, because entrepreneurs solve problems and entrepreneurs hire people to help them solve those problems. So there's going to be other jobs that pop up down the line. And if anything, hopefully a lot of these jobs are going to be more fulfilling than the ones that exist right now. For instance, I was working as a pharmacist during the pandemic, and if I'm being completely honest, it wasn't the most fulfilling job. And I started a YouTube channel while I was growing as a pharmacist, and I liked it way more, and now I'm a full-time YouTuber. So if you want to know how to do that, again, attend the live training, click the link in the description in the pinned comment below. All right, next is leather-grown mushrooms, aka MycoWorks. So this one might be the most futuristic of all. There's a company called MycoWorks, and they grow leather. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Not from cows, not from any animal, from mycelium, which is basically the root system of mushrooms. So they feed the mycelium a specific diet. They control the growing conditions, and within days, they produce sheets of material that look, feel, and perform like high-quality leather. And they're not just selling this as some eco-friendly novelty. They are working with luxury fashion brands, and this is premium material being used in premium products. And they're opening the world's first commercial-scale fine mycelium plant. That means they're moving from lab batches to factory production. And this is the moment where it goes from interesting experiment to actual industry. So how do you profit from this? Well, sustainable material is one of the hottest sectors in fashion and manufacturing right now. Major brands are under massive pressure from consumers and regulators to move away from animal-derived and petroleum-based materials. And here's what that means for normal people. If you're in fashion, design, or manufacturing, learning how to work with these new materials gives you a competitive edge. Designers who understand mycelium leather, recycled textiles, and bio-based materials are going to be in serious demand. So just as one example, you could start a consulting business helping fashion brands source and integrate sustainable materials. Or you could create a content brand around sustainable fashion and material science, and that could be the intersection of fashion, science, and sustainability. And that's a content niche with huge potential because the audience cares deeply and there's very little quality content serving them. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed these businesses. Also, highly recommend you attend my live training to figure out how to pick your niche if you want to start a business yourself, and specifically how to get high quality traffic from YouTube to send to that business. With that being said, I also have a video right here where I talk about how to choose a niche that makes a ton of money on YouTube, and you can check that out by clicking right here.